Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Crafty Simulation Tours video. You know the routine by now. I pick a scenery and I go and drive around it because as pilots or virtual pilots we're only really interested in parking, taxiways, runways. That's about it. But how much detail really goes into the creation of some of the best sceneries here in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because we're back with another Burning Blue Designs masterpiece of creation. And this one is Redhill. And like I say, I thought I'd take a little tour around it, usual routine, take a lap around the airfield, show off some of the buildings, show off some of the runways, all that sort of stuff, and also hear exactly what Burning Blue Designs have to say about their creation of Redhill. So, what do Burning Blue Designs say? So, they have, as part of this scenery package, over 170 custom 3D objects, each with full PBR-based textures. So, the textures on these things do look really good. I mean, we've seen this before with the Burning Blue Designs texturing of their buildings and their objects. They're absolutely fantastic, really are, considering it's scenery. Most of it we don't see. It's based on a 2022 layout with accurate runways, taxiways and custom taxi signs. Had an update in October 2022 when runways 08 and 26 were redesignated to 0725 and the previous 0725 was redesignated to 0624. So when you create a scenery, when Burning Blue Designs or anyone creates a scenery, they have to pick a date when they're going to basically copy that scenery from. Because, as we know, things change over the years. So they have picked October 2022 as their layout for this scenery. So as of that date, this was accurate. I'm not saying in 2024 that it is accurate. I dare say, obviously, Control Tower is still there, some of the buildings are still there, but the companies may not be. So anyway, moving on, we have highly detailed control tower and hangar interiors. Control tower sat right behind us. Animated hangar doors, which close at night. Parking spot number 7, open manually with taxi lights. So we do have various buildings that will open up to allow us to park an aircraft. Obviously, you wouldn't have the engine running when you go into a hangar. But it is another thing that I like to see in sceneries. A completely custom windsock and dynamic animated flags. Dynamic visitors change depending on the time of day. So this could be the aircraft or the actual people, because there's a cafeteria, restaurant, which is over there behind all that lot. There's obviously people around there. We have real-life static aircraft based at Redhill. So aircraft that are based here, like we've got some helicopters over there. If I pull this back, we might be able to see them. There is some other aircraft parked up over there, some there. Again, realistically based aircraft, also aircraft that are based here in real, are here in the scenery. We have full night lighting and dynamic weather compatibility. So again, no matter what the weather or time of day is in the simulator, the scenery will change. Now, I remember in the FSX days, yes, some of the scenery was really, really good, like airfield sceneries and whatnot, but it didn't change when it was nighttime. So it looked out of place. Don't have that problem here. And we also have enhanced high-resolution, colour-corrected ground textures. Yep, they look like they are very well-done ground textures. I never thought I'd be doing a video on ground textures. Anyway, usual routine, I will take my UTV here on a little tour round Redhill. I have my Pooley's Guide to Redhill. Now this is a real guide for the real airfield. This is what real pilots use. It has a basis in Flight Simulator, but it also is very important to real pilots. So according to Pooley's, we have, I'm not counting each runway twice, because obviously there is an up runway and down runway, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runways, 6 if you count the one that is classed as unlicensed, which is as a concrete runway right up against those trees over there. It'd be very interesting to land on, I would say. I feel a challenge coming on. We also have hover squares, which are right across the other side. I'll show them off. I don't know whether they're marked out on the grass, but they are marked out on the map. And these are squares, obviously, that helicopter trainee pilots can use without fear of, shall we say, eating someone else's rotor blades. Because there is a lot of training that happens here at Redhill. Now, Redhill itself is famous on YouTube because of a certain reporter who is called the Flying Reporter. I've just remembered his name now. It's on YouTube. Flies a Piper aircraft. I'm not going to say which one it is. I can't remember. I think it's a PA-28. I'm not sure. It could be a turbo arrow. Anyway, he flies it. It's a great series. If you like general aviation aircraft here on the channel, check out his channel, because he's doing it for real, and he's flying from Redhill, and it's fantastic, absolutely awesome. You'll learn a lot of stuff from him. You won't learn too much from me, let's put it that way. Anyway, like I say, I'm going to take a tour round the airfield. We're going to go via taxiway Alpha. We are currently sat in an aircraft parking area which is designated E2. Where the sign says... Yeah, there we go. There's E2, Echo 2, and we will be going out to the left, and we'll go out towards the main runway, which is, according to Pool, is 25L. It's an 897-metre grass runway. We don't have any tarmac runways here, bar the unlicensed one, which I think, like I say, isn't used, but that is a tarmac/concrete runway. But we do have, the longest runway is 897 metres, according to Poolies. We do have an 851-metre runway, which is actually, weirdly, there in between the buildings. I don't know whether that's an active runway or what, but it is there. We also have a smaller runway which is 683 metres, which is so hard to see with grass runways. So that's the main runway there, and the grass runway, the other secondary grass runway, I think, is just here, not with any lighting on it, so it's interesting. And we do have an even smaller runway. We have a 175-metre runway, which is, again, according to Poolies, somewhere over there. 175 metres. I can't imagine too many aircraft getting airborne in that. Maybe the Fiesler Stork, I can't pronounce it, but maybe that will get off. A Harrier jump jet will probably get off. We don't have a Harrier. We have a UTG. And if that gets airborne, we've got a problem. So anyway, like I said, get Trackir turned on. Let's get that all centralised. Right, let's go see what we see. And if I remember, hey, we're off. Animated windsock. Not a lot to really see around here, because obviously this is the main taxiway through to the runways. So we have the first runway, 25 right. So we'll just stop it. I want to see if Poolies have got this. Well, I know Poolies have got it right. They are correct. Yes, it's marked up as 25 right. So again, kudos to Burning Blue Designs. I have seen this before, not so much with BBD, but other scenery packages get the wrong runways. Well, maybe they were right before when they created it, but runways change, as we saw in an update. So again, it is accurate. There is 25 right. So let's carry on. That's the smaller runway, not the main runway. Here is the main runway, 25 left. So it is a lit runway. Just literally taxi out onto the runway here. And that is your runway. Grass strips are the bane of my life, because even though this one is lit and fairly well visual, there is times when a grass runway can obviously blend into, oh, I don't know, the grass that is around it, and it does make landings quite interesting. We do have a slight decline on this approach, which then goes into a rather nice incline right at the end of the runway, so it is rather interesting. We're not going to do the fast run down the runway just yet. What we're going to do, we've got some lights there, we've got a custom building. This would be taxiway Charlie, I think, would go that way. I don't know, can we get to it? Well, obviously we can get to it, we can go by the grass. Looks like there might be, according to our little map there, little grass strip taxiway. Yes, there is, I can see the signs. Let's go have a look at it, let's make ourselves a nuisance. Bit bumpy, but we'll forgive it. Nice little hangar area. I'm going to say that is a flight simulator edition. I'm not 100%, never can quite tell, but what normally gives it away is this halo effect you get from the propellers. I might be completely and utterly wrong, and it might be a BBD creation, but I'm not sure. We do have a nice little hangar area. Anything home? No. Bugger all. But again, you get this weird halo effect of the propeller blades. It's something that Flight Simulator's never lost. That's a Flight Simulator aircraft. That's the Kenmore repaint, I'm sure of it. But yeah, I mean, they are aircraft, they are part there. We've got people walking around, well, not walking around, but poking and pointing and all the rest of it. So, yeah, it's realistic. Realistic enough for our needs. Let's not bang into a quite expensive aircraft. Would not be fun. So we'll head back out. Let's miss the tree. That's always helpful. So, according to Poolies, this will be Charlie 2 we're coming up to, which I believe is this sign here. BBD, you've done your work. That's Charlie 2. So we are on Charlie Taxiway here, joining back onto the Charlie Taxiway, the main one. And this will take us to the tarmac runway. So let's see what BBD have done here. Is it marked out as well? It is. It is. This would be runway 24. So weirdly, we have a 24 left. Sorry, 25 left and a 25 right. This is obviously runway 24, so there's a little bit of difference between the degrees of the runway. It is marked up as a runway in the numbers, but not with the line. I would still say this is well, Poolies class this as unlicensed. You are quite close to trees, so I don't know whether you want to land here. Let's see what signs we've got up here. Three six. Ah, yeah, so that's 3-6. So 3-6 is the back end of that weird runway that goes up in between the buildings. So I don't know whether we're going to actually see this, because it's obviously grass. But yeah, there is a runway straight up that way. I don't know whether it's live, but it is there. Obviously, I was on about the hover squares. So the hover squares are these sections here. Obviously not where this runway is, because there's runway 36. Lovely sound effects, but this is, according to Poolies, HTA 3. So this is a hover square, so helicopter pilots can do their hovering practice. Something aircraft pilots wish they could do as well. Not marked out on the actual scenery, I don't believe. No, just open grass, which is fine. I don't expect it to be marked out in reality. So let's go back onto the runway, or the end of runway 06, which is correct. And now we are on to taxiway Delta. So there should be a sign around here somewhere that will say that, maybe. So what we got here? What signage have we got here? Delta 2, which is correct. According to Poolies, we have a Delta 2. Kudos to BBD for creating that. Actually, I've got a really short runway. I'm just going to find this in a minute because I can see it on my map. Is that a marking? It is a marking. This is a runway, ladies and gentlemen. There is a runway. It is here, and it is H36. I always thought runways came in L and R, but hey, I'm learning something new. H36 and H... I have to read it upside down. 18. It is the dizzying length of 165 metres. Yeah. Like I said, Harrier jump jet. So being that we are now back onto the what I would deem to be the main runway, 07 right, this is going to get noisy because I'm going to do a speed run. I feel the urge, like I said, like a certain BBC car programme, to drive down a runway ridiculously fast in a vehicle that's, well, it is designed for it. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to take that all the way back without skidding too much. So, weirdly, I do apologise if your audio is weird, because obviously that's over grass. This vehicle could do 80 mile an hour. It's the weakest of the all-terrain vehicles I have, but it will do 80 mile an hour on tarmac, and only did a maximum of 76, 78 here on grass. So, I'm not sure that's a flight simulator thing, but you do get a little bit of resistance being on the grass. So let's get back to the taxiway, which is Taxiway Delta, and we'll go round to the main airport, main airfield buildings. So these signs here, I'm just looking at my map, should be Delta 3. Let's have a look what we got. Delta 3, hey, brilliant. Realism. So we're now entering the area where most of the buildings are. Again, this is the side of the sim you don't necessarily see. So we got realistic looking buildings. Obviously, I'm not going to concentrate too much on that because that is a flight simulator aircraft, being Kenmore. Can we fit through there? Can we fit? Can we fit? Of course we can. Question is, what was it supposed to? So this is a part of the scenery you would never see. And I said this in a previous video. Well, hey, this is going to be tight. I said this in a previous video about the texturing they use for their creation of their cars, and well, in this case cars, but for the aircraft on North Weald was absolutely fantastic, absolutely amazing. Now, that's actually awesome parking. I'd rather abandon my car there. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Okay, and I'll say there's a two-part to this comment. That car looks like it's gone through an accident. It looks like it's melted. However, this is nothing against BBD. I fully expect cars to look like that. It's a car. It's a flight simulator, and that's a car. It doesn't move. If you're flying over the airfield, you will see a car park. And the more you pull back, the more the cars sort of look realistic. I mean, yes, there is more realistic vehicle there, and more realistic van there, and that just looks like it's... I'm not going to say it looks like a BMW, but it's hard to tell, but it looks... It's poor, but I fully expect that. But, let me zoom this in a little bit. The buildings all look... Oh, dear me. All look realistic, and they've got even company names on there. These are all correct. Redhill Aviation Flight Centre. Probably still based there. This scenery was set up for 2022. It's 2024 now, nearly the end of 2024. We'll see if it's accurate, but it is accurate as of the date that BBD set out to create this scenery. So let's see if I can get out of this car park without making a... Obviously, I can't crash into these cars. I can't, I'll just go through them. There's no damage physics. I don't expect there to be. It's just the levels of detail that go into this. I mean, yeah, it's not the most accurate people that you would see here, because that looks like a warehouse style arrangement, and you've got to obviously airfield personnel. I think that's more the flight simulator than anything else, but a very accurate van, pallet storage area, accurately done. I mean, I work in a warehouse, I know what pallet storage looks like. Building looks correct, aged. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we'll go over to the active helipad. Take a look at this Augusta, I believe. So again, another air ambulance. This one is a Kent and Surrey and Essex air ambulance. Again, I guess that's a realistic registration. But Specialist Aviation Services, this is all brilliant. Something, again, I wouldn't see. I might see it when I'm sat over there and I might be doing my checks in my aircraft. I look back and go, oh, that's a sign. And I'll believe it's realistic, but it is realistic. It's fantastic. And that aircraft looks, helicopter looks absolutely amazing. It's just the level of detail. I keep making this link towards onions, and I said this in a previous video, and that's what it is. An onion has loads and loads of layers, and that's what this scenery has, loads and loads of layers. Things that we don't see. But when you start actually to look and go around in a vehicle that you can do it in, I mean, just look at this. I mean, yes, I'm not even going to say the texturing on these people looks odd, because, to be honest with you, I mean, it looks a bit weird that I'm zooming in on a small child, and obviously his, her, not sure, mother. But it is realistic-ish. It's believable. If you're sat over there next to that Yak 52, and sat there, you know, look back here, it's a restaurant. It looks fine. You have the logo even, the pilot's hub. Coffee house. I need a coffee, that reminds me. But again, it looks realistic. Just look at it. Chairs all stored up. That's the level of detail. The texture effect on the picnic table. Yes, it's probably copied over from multiple sceneries, because multiple GA airfields have these kind of restaurants, and BBD will obviously use and utilise previous textures. But it's believable. It's a picnic table. It's supposed to be there, and I'm concentrating on a bloody picnic table. Gotta stop concentrating on a picnic table. Let's centralise that, and let's carry on. Again, we got the Yak 52. Not sure whether that's based at Redhill, but I think it is. I'm not sure. Pilots, extreme caution at all times. Yeah, I usually have caution. See, my flying, I definitely have caution. I don't know whether that's no entries correct, but, you know. So what we got here? Arena, aerial filming and VIP charters. Can I charter anyone? No? Must be shut. Probably not rich enough. We've got some helicopter company here. Charter training and self-fly hire. You've seen me flying a helicopter, correct? No, you're not giving me self-hire, but there's the helicopters. Looking realistic as ever. So just have a little wander down there. We've got a little depot of lorries. Transport company of some sort. That arena certainly has a few buildings. That's a police chopper. I thought for a minute that was a minigun. That's a police chopper I'll be scared of. But no, it's obviously a light. just look. I keep saying this, just look at the detail that goes into these people. So again, chartered training and self-fly hire, EBG, I think helicopters, not 100%. Again, it looks realistic. You wouldn't see this. Yes, you can obviously park your helicopter, aircraft, whatever it is, over here, but you wouldn't see the level of detail that goes into BBD's creations. They're absolutely amazing. I'm getting lost in it. The more I look, the more I drive around, the more I see. And the more I think that BBD do create some of the best sceneries here on the sim. So what taxiway are we taking now? I've got to get my map back. Echo, I think. Yes, Echo 1. Well, that says H2. H2, yes, I see H2. H1, yes, I see. And that's runway 18, which is the long runway that runs oddly between the buildings, so to speak. I don't know if that's a live runway or not. So what do these say? Echo 1. That is correct. We do have Echo 1 signs. So now we're on taxiway Echo. Custom hangar with a cap, I want to say. I keep saying this cap, I'm not 100%. Light aircraft. Yeah, definitely light aircraft. Some place to park your aircraft. And that takes us pretty much back to where we was, because now we're heading towards a control tower. In fact, let's cheat. Let's have a look at the control tower. Emergency services vehicles, tanker, all correct. And welcome to the terminal building. So, Redhill Airfield by Burning Blue Designs. I know I have covered 3 Burning Blue Designs sceneries now, and I will be covering other sceneries, don't get me wrong. I am going to cover some freeware sceneries. I am going to cover other company sceneries and take you around and see how good they are. But Burning Blue Designs even create some of the best small airfields here in the sim. Yes, most of them are based in the UK. They have created some other sceneries around the world, but most of them are in the UK. And I firmly do believe that they are the best at what they do when it comes to detail and going beyond the call of scenery. That's what I'm going to call it, beyond the call of scenery, because stuff that we would never see as virtual pilots is now at our fingertips. If we get the right vehicle, like this UTV, and go out for a drive, you will see the level of detail that goes into all these creations. Now, you would be expecting to pay a lot of money for this wonderful piece of scenery, and it isn't. It's £12.95, UK pounds, whatever that translates to in your country, but nearly £13, let's say, £13 for a very well done, detailed general aviation airfield. It's just mind-boggling. I don't know the time that goes into creating one of these sceneries. I wouldn't have the patience. But the level of detail that goes into the creation of these scenery packages is just next level. Now, they have said, with Flight Sim 2024 are literally around the corner, that they are looking to transfer their sceneries to work in 2024. They have said it's doable, with minor updates here and there. I cannot wait to see, 2020's Flight Simulator looks absolutely amazing, but I cannot wait to see what 2024 looks like with Burning Blue Designs, airfields, airports, aerodromes, whatever you like to call them, in the sceneries. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. Even if you got 2020, the scenery looks fantastic, and they keep releasing new versions of airfields all the time. Got a very big catalogue. I'll probably go through the catalogue, actually go to the website in a smaller video. But if you're interested in general aviation and you fly from the UK, check out burningbluedesigns.com and have a look at their scenery packages. Prices are fantastic. Scenery packages are, like I say, next level. And I think they're absolutely awesome. World beaters in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So, if you've got any questions or comments about Redhill or about Burning Blue Designs, drop them below and I will get around to answering them. And I will see you guys and girls in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.